Well, congratulations. Speaking of the man
Congratulations,
himself,
Brendan.
what pleased you the most today, Brendan?
I thought the control and the compactness in the game was good. Because that system, you got to really work inside the side to find the space. So I thought that aspect of it was really good. So that can make the opponent passive because you keep the ball. We just had a spell of about 10-12 minutes in the second half where we give the ball away cheaply, and then it offers them a little bit of hope in the game. But I think overall our control in the game was very, very good.
Yeah, the strength and depth of the squad now as well is fantastic. But what do you feed Maeda? How good's he? You see 95 minutes and he's still going. He makes those runs in behind.
He should score as well at the end.
Well, he could have had a hat trick, but we were saying you can't take your eyes off for a second, Brendan.
Well,
that's the 95th minute, and he's still making the runs. And
the first goal, when you actually see it back, his anticipation in such a tight space.
Yeah.
And what the ground he's made up over the defender just to get there and read it. I think he's an amazing role model. See, if you're a young player coming through, and you want to give your honesty to the game and your work and intensity and everything. No cheating, no nothing. He even away at St Mirren, the penalty we got last week, he actually tried to stay in his feet.
Yeah,
he's so honest to the game, but just natural in it. He could run like you used to in midfield.
Listen, his technique's improved over the last sort of year.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a far better finisher than what he was, and far more prolific and calmer now. His goal last week at St Mirren,
brilliant.
Was an amazing goal, and then he's Johnny on the spot today again. But I think his feet have improved. Brendan, yourself?
Yeah, well, I just think his calmness, and Scott has worked with me, so I've always on to wide players, eights, strikers, about getting into areas to score goals. But I think with him, it's just the confidence, I think, that comes with the finish and just having the calmness on the finish. So he's been absolutely brilliant.
Did you expect him to have such an impact? When Kyogo left, a lot of people were saying, have Celtic left themselves short in that area, but obviously you've got Daizen Maeda here, you've got plenty of other options, but the fact that he's stepped up, and as you've said, Neil, he's also improved his finishing as well to become quite prolific for you.
Yeah, listen, I think if you trace back to what I said that he can play as a striker, but I didn't want him to have to. I wanted another body in, just for depth, just for the game's intensity, but I always knew that you don't play for Japan in a World Cup as a number 9 and score the goals he scored for Japan and for Yokohama if you can't finish. Yeah, he's not maybe a target man.
No.
That traditional. But look at all the goals he scores, the various types of goals. So he's a goal scorer. Maybe not a direct up and down number 9, but he can score goals and finish. And I think, as Neil said, I think that's grown in confidence as he scored more.
Definitely, he's definitely improved.
No, he's a delight to watch, if I'm honest. His movement from 95 minutes, you can see he's on the shoulder, and as the manager says there, you can't take your eye off him because he literally waits for you to turn and he's away.
Aye, and there's so many moments in the game where he frightens the goalkeeper or the centre. You just can't relax with him, and that's always what my team's tried to do, press the game. And so having that focal point up there is great to have that.
I was just asking, Neil, just as you were walking in, actually, we've covered Celtic in the Champions League this season, and we've seen the marked progress that the side have made on that platform. But to also sustain that with domestic success, domestic dominance, how pleased are you with where the club is at, where the squad is at as well, as far as fighting on both fronts, when you now are thinking about a return to Hampden once again to try and retain this trophy?
Yeah, I think to have that, I think it's the professionalism of the players is obviously very, very important, because it's so easy to, you have your great nights, Bayern Munich and all the big games, just to switch off the engine and think you can just coast. But I think when you win in trebles and you win in trophies, it's your professionalism and your attitude to your training every day that then allows you to bring it into the game. So you can't do that unless you have that mental fitness to keep going and keep working, and the guys have done that really well this season. So yeah, it's another semi-final, which is great.
Did you enjoy today? We were just talking before about the 7,000 Hibs fans in it. It had a real cup feeling to it today, didn't it? And obviously the sun came out for us.
Aye, no, listen, I think that's what we all want to see, don't we?
Absolutely.
I think the Hibs supporters were brilliant. That galvanises our support, so the atmosphere was good in the game. And like you say, Hibs are coming off the back of a brilliant run. So we knew for us to get in the semi-final, we had to be the real Celtic today and play. And I thought the boys done that really well.
And also just coming into this, having the free week, I mean, again, there's another few days ahead. It's quite unusual for Celtic to have that at this stage of the season, but is it something that you welcome? Obviously there's a downtime, but just a chance to maybe get on the training field and run through some things that you probably don't get a chance to do other weeks.
Yeah, I think we've maximised the season as much as we possibly could, right the way through all the competitions, and obviously the Champions League, which was a great experience and another step forward for us. So that means that in this latter part of the season you're down to one game, which is great because you can improve on the details in the game. You can't overdo it in training, so it's a lot shorter and sharper and more dynamic in this last part of the season. And like I say, the players can come into it with that extra bit of freshness. So, it's a big part of the guys will tell you as captain of this club. You get into this. This is where you earn your money at this point of the season, to win trophies and be stood on the podium at the end. So that's what we want to do.
Well, you remain on course to do that, Brendan.
Pleasure.
Thank you very much, as
Thank you very
always.
much. Cheers.
Well done today.
Thank
you
you
so much.